Welcome back, everybody. So, someone DM'd me this question, and this is a very interesting question. Listen to this. You, thank you. I was waiting for the teleprompter to stop. My husband wants to have a threesome, but I'm against inviting other people into our bedroom. He says that I'm insecure and afraid to try something new, but I'm just not into that. How do I convince my husband that we should keep our sex life private? It's a great question, okay? And it's not that hard. This question isn't that hard to answer because here's my position on this. Well, first, let me say this. You should always ask yourself if you're not willing to do something because that's not really who you are or because that's what you think that's not who you are. It's what you've been taught and what you've learned. You get the difference? Sometimes we say, oh, I'm not into that. I won't do that. And the truth of the matter is you're just echoing. You're just mimicking. You're just parroting what you've heard and thought and been taught your whole life. It may not actually be what you think. So I'm always going to encourage you to ask yourself again, where do I stand on this? Make sure it's yours, your position, you own it. And once you come to that kind of clarity, then it becomes easy. Because your job is not to convince your husband of anything. Your job in that moment is to simply stand your ground and to make it clear, I'm not having a threesome with you. No, no matter what you say, that's not what I'm into. I don't want that. Okay? And because here's the thing, I say this all the time. If you end up doing it and you really hate it, right? You're going to ultimately end up resenting yourself and him for doing something that you despise. I mean, that's going to open up a door from out of which will come all kinds of demons. The dark arts will be all over your marriage because now you have to live with the fact that you were talked into, goaded into, manipulated into, seduced into, fundamentally doing something that you are totally against. And you're going to resent yourself for being that weak and resent him for being that overbearing and manipulative. You know, if your husband loves you, if he really loves you, call me old-fashioned, but if he really loves you and cares about you and wants to be with you, then he will respect what your limits are. And he will find a way to exist in this relationship without having that part of him satisfied. Because the truth of the matter is there may be another way to satisfy it. There may be another way, because you have to really ask, what is it about having a threesome or having somebody else in the sexual situation that excites him, right? What is it? Because and my point is there may be another way for him to have that part of him satisfied, right? And a sex therapist would probably have better advice on the particularities of how you do it, but there may be another way, a way for you to keep your dignity and hold your ground, but also understand that this may be a real important need for him that can be addressed a different way. The thing that you have to ask yourself, and here's where I'll end with this, what if the situation is for him a deal breaker? What if he is willing to walk away from what you have because this need that he's driving towards is so overwhelming and important to him? Are you ready for that? And is this moment, this decision that you've taken, this position that you've taken, this decision that you've made, rather, is so indelible to who you are and so important to who you are that you would even be willing to lose the relationship in order to maintain your position? I can't answer that question for you, but I think you need to start asking yourself that question. Because here's what I know about men. What I know about men is that when a man fixates on something sexual, it takes angels, Gabriel, Michael, Moses, Aaron, Jesus, and a bunch of other people to get us to turn and to change our mind. So this is going to be a journey. Probably should get some counseling. Be in a therapeutic situation who can help you and help him ascertain where this is coming from. And help you address, what some of your limits and boundaries are and whether or not they are of your own creation or whether you just picked them up because you grew in a particular house and raised by particular parents. Good luck with that.